Our experience of the world is governed by a principle of complementarity existing between subjectivity and objectivity respectively, but traditional philosophy has seen the contradiction between them to mean that one must be explained by the other. All philosophical perspectives on all philosophical problems can be defined by a quadrant diagram, and this diagram is correlated with our basic psychological temperaments. Our ideas about the world are fragments of this structure, and each quadrant represents a different worldview. These worldviews are named subjectivism, objectivism, abjectivism, which asserts a level of reality beneath the subject-object relation, and superjectivism, which seeks to explain reality as a unity of the subject-object relation, and which is therefore innately self-referential and paradoxical. The existence of self-referential paradoxes means that provable statements can be considered true only if some statements are neither true nor false, or both true and false. Thus, the notion of logical consequence, provability, and truth itself can be interpreted in different ways, and these different ways can be defined by the same structure as all other philosophical notions. We cannot therefore use logic to discriminate between theories, for we would also need to discriminate between the logics used to discriminate between theories. The structure is also the structure of our perception of ourselves, along with the mechanism of our perception, whereby the subjective and objective perspectives in philosophy are correlated with the subjective mind and the objective brain. Just as the interaction between the subjective and objective perspectives in philosophy creates a perspective that is self-referential, the superjective perspective, the interaction between the mind and brain creates an object that is subject to itself, the strange loop that is self-consciousness. In fact, the superjective perspective is describing precisely the phenomenon of self-reference as it arises in all areas of philosophy. And so, the entire structure is a fractal. It exists within the superjective, and the superjective exists within it. And since the superjective perspective expresses a unity of the subjective and objective perspectives, and thus a unity of logic and empiricism, our experience of self-reference, that is, self-consciousness, necessitates the existence of the structure as a whole. Indeed, the existence of our own self-consciousness is the one thing we cannot doubt, and so neither can we doubt the validity of the superjective perspective and thus the matrix of all possible views. The structure represents the paths through which evolution most easily flows, and every quadrant of the structure is true in regard to its particular domain. The subjective evolves in parallel with the objective, and our understanding evolves as they are divided in two. Paradox is the nature of self-consciousness, and the unfolding of duality in our experience of the world is that process by which paradox realizes itself through the conduit of many individual selves. All is the self, and all things are a representation of our current understanding of ourselves.